I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. Subscribe now to learn more about how you can make more money with your independent movies. And don't forget to hit that little bell notification thingy. Today, I'm going to give you some general advice on how to price your independent film on TVOD, if you're self-distributing or have input over the pricing with your distributor. And I'm talking strictly feature films here. After we go through the levels on feature films, I'll backtrack and we'll talk a little bit about documentaries, shorts, and web series as well. Disclaimer. Keep in mind that every project is different, and even if your project fits into the budget categories I list out here, it might be a better fit at a different price, depending on the genre and overall quality of your individual movie. Level 1. This is for smaller projects, budgeted $10,000 or under without any kind of star talent. I typically start these out at $1.99 for rental HD and 99 cents for rental SD. 99 cents, by the way, like when you're talking Amazon, that's as low as you can go. Then I set the purchase price at $5.99 for HD and $4.99 for SD. Unless the movie is just out of this world spectacular and you have a giant pre-built audience chomping at the bit for it, this is where I would place most micro-budget fare. Now, if you're doing this on, say, Amazon, the cool thing is you can see these results pretty quickly. And if it's doing really well, you can hold steady at the price you're at, or even increase that amount slightly to see if it helps. But then if it doesn't, you can go right back down. And conversely, if it isn't performing at this level, you can try to raise or lower and adjust your marketing accordingly. That's the one really cool thing about uploading a movie yourself through Prime Video Direct, is you can look at these numbers almost daily. And of course, if TVOD isn't working out for your title at all, you can always switch over to SVOD. Level 2. My next tier would be for movies between $10,000 and $25,000 budgets. The big difference at this level is not necessarily in production value, but that with that kind of money, you can attach some kind of B-level star talent, which can really move the needle. So here, I'd start the rental at about $1 higher, say $2.99 HD rental, then $1.99 SD rental. Then I'd pop up just a little bit more for the purchase, say $8.99 for an HD purchase and $6.99 for an SD purchase. And again, I'd keep an eye on the performance and adjust accordingly. Level 3. The next level would be a $25,000 budget to a $100,000 budget. At this level, you're getting to the point where you're really increasing the production quality a bit, and you can add even more name talent. Now, especially towards the lower end of those budgets, you might not necessarily be able to afford bigger names, but you can afford more of the smaller ones, exponentially increasing the odds of performance. Here, depending on the level of talent, I would price out the rental pretty much the same. $4.99 rental HD, $3.99 rental SD. I do the purchases then at, say, $9.99 HD and $8.99 SD. So about the same on rental, a little higher on the purchase. Level 4. Then my final category would be for movies budgeted between $100,000 and $500,000. I figure if you're making movies at budgets higher than that, you got really no business listening to advice from me. And to be further honest, this is where my actual physical experience as a producer kind of stops. The most expensive movie I have ever directed or produced was around $250,000. Anywho, at this level, if you've done it right, you can really start to rival studio quality production value. And you can attach some honest-to-goodness, relevant big cast. You'd be surprised at the level of cast you could get for, say, $75,000 or $100,000. So I would price these like mid-level studio fare. I'd start out the rental in HD around $6.99, SD $5.99, purchase $14.99, and then SD purchase $12.99. And of course, just like all the other ones, you watch the performance and you adjust accordingly. Documentaries are a little harder to pin down because they're not often locked down by name, talent, or budget. Basically, I put them in 3 simple categories. Number 1, Very low budget, very niche specific stuff. Budgets under $10,000. A lot of my documentaries fall into this category. I usually start these out very low. I take a high volume, low cost strategy. However, if your lower budgeted doc has a very good targeted audience, rabid for the content, you might want to start out a little higher. That said, I typically start out here at a $1.99 rental for HD and 99-cent rental for SD. $3.99 purchase for HD, $2.99 purchase for SD. Then, just like the narratives, I watch performance and adjust accordingly. Level 2. Once you get over $10,000 in budget on docs, you can really start expanding a little bit. You're going to have more interview subjects. You're probably going to have more original B-roll. You're going to be able to afford higher quality licensing. But until you reach, say, $30,000 or $50,000 in budget, I really don't see a huge difference at this level in market viability. So, my second level starts around $30,000. I personally find budgets between $10,000 and $30,000 to be a bit of a dead zone in regards to increasing market potential on documentaries. So I make them for between 0 and 10,000. And then my next level starts at 30,000. Anyway, at the $30,000 level and above, you can significantly start to improve the production quality and the scope of your documentary and start competing with some higher level stuff. Here, I'd start my pricing a bit higher, say $3.99 rental HD, $2.99 rental SD, $9.99 purchase HD, $8.99 purchase SD. Level 3. Once you get over $50,000, you're at the point where you might be able to hire a celebrity narrator, or you can really increase the scope of your documentary. This is where you can start to afford to fly around, like interview different parts of the country, get B-roll from different parts of the country. Once you get close to the $100,000, you're at a production quality level that can really rival the big boys, if you're frugal. And it's here where I start pricing them like the big boys. $6.99 rental HD, $4.99 rental SD. Purchase at $14.99 HD and $12.99 SD. So let's talk web series and shorts for a hot minute. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I haven't seen actually any shorts or web series be very successful at the indie level on TVOD at all. I'm not saying they aren't out there. Maybe you've had great success with that yourself. I just haven't heard of any. With these, if you insist on going TVOD, unless you have some pretty major name talent, I'd keep it as low as possible. 99-cent rentals across the board. HD, SD, 99 cents. Low as you can go. Then for purchases, I would make that equal a little less than 99 cents an episode. Like, say you had 6 episodes, instead of charging $6 for the purchase, you charge like $4. Basically like they do big TV series. For shorts, I do the purchase at 99 cents as well. Major TV shows are priced at $1.99 and 99 cents per episode. I can't see regular folks paying any more than that for indie shorts and series. Honestly, 99% of the time, you're better off here going with an AVOD service or an SVOD service. Look, I'm not claiming that any of these prices are the ultimate prices to stick with. This is totally just my opinion based on how my movies have done and some market research. Others may have drastically different experiences and opinions. So please take all of my info here with a grain of salt. Really take a hard look at the market and your individual movie and price it accordingly. But let's see what some other filmmakers have to say. Filmmaker tips. We released ours last Friday at $2.99 rental. Enough for audiences to take a gamble, since it's not free on Prime. I also note this is the only platform we placed it to watch digitally, transactionally. Okay, I'd be curious to how this one went. I released my film last week, not using Prime, but using Vimeo on demand. $3.99 rental with a $2 off coupon for anyone who shares the Vimeo link or website. At the same time, I'm selling DVDs and Blu-rays. I've gotten 3 times the sales on DVDs versus rentals, despite the rental being potentially only $1.99. I plan on releasing on Prime down the road. This is a fully respectful and valid tact. Window releasing. In addition to the Prime release or in lieu of it, I might suggest turning the movie over to FilmHub once your initial numbers through DIY, DVD and stuff have dwindled. And keep in mind, even with places like FilmHub, you will be able to hold on to those DVD and Vimeo rights. It can be really hard to put a price point on your own work. People have a tendency to either over or undervalue themselves. 2 strategies I would suggest is to have a look at what's already up there, or ask yourself what you'd think you'd be willing to pay for that kind of work. Fair enough. I was actually a little surprised at how little feedback I got on this subject. I wonder if folks in the filmmaking groups are getting wise to my filmmaker tip sections and don't want to hear me reading their comments in a silly voice. If you want to learn more about TVOD versus SVOD versus AVOD, check out this video here. And if you want to help me increase the frequency and quality of these little talks, please consider supporting me on Patreon. But whatever you do, keep making movies. Sound like the Terminator there.